Hi there, I'm Andrea. Let's do some yoga. So, before we start, just remember that yoga is a personal practice, it's an individual practice. So, if we're doing a pose today that you want to modify in a safe way, or if you want to maybe try this entire practice a little differently without a chair, you can go down in the description and there will be a link to the same practice but without a chair. So, it's up to you what you want to do today, depending on how you're feeling. Uh, and of course, if you're not really sure whether or not you're supposed to be doing something like yoga or any kind of exercise, check in with your physician and they'll be able to tell you whether or not it's appropriate for you at this time. So, all you need for this practice is a chair. Any chair, really, as long as it doesn't have wheels or it's not going to collapse on you or anything like that, just a nice sturdy chair where your feet can easily reach the floor. You can do this with the chair with armrests, but it's a little bit more difficult. So try to get like a folding chair or maybe a dining room table chair that doesn't have armrests. So here we go. Go ahead and make your way onto your chair. And really, you don't need anything for this practice other than a chair. Get comfortable in your chair, sit tall, let your eyes close. So just start out by noticing your breath. Notice your inhales and notice your exhales. The misconception about yoga is that the actual practice of yoga is doing these poses that you've seen in maybe magazines or Instagram or movies or whatever it may be. But in reality, yoga is awareness of the breath. So if you notice this inhale and this exhale, good job. You've already done yoga. You don't have to worry anymore from here because you've already done it. You're already doing it. Do a scan of your body. Notice how you're feeling. There's no good or bad. There just is what is, so just notice what's going on. Do a scan from the top of your head down to your toes. And then bring your focus back to your breath. Remember, the focus on the breath is the practice of yoga, so I'll just keep reminding you of it as we go. Now turn your palms up on your lap if they're not up already. As you inhale, open up your hands, and as you exhale, curl your fingers in. So you're not making a fist, a tight fist, you're just gently curling your fingers in. When you inhale, you open your hands. You exhale, you curl your fingers in. Continue moving at your own pace. We'll do that a lot, I'll get you started and then you keep going at your own pace because we all breathe at different lengths. So you inhale when you open your hands, you exhale when you close them. Just noticing what it's like to put the breath and movement together. Try to time them up so they last the same amount of time. And the breath is the most important, so time the movement to the breath. Do that one more time. Once you do your last curling of fingers in, turn your palms down, and again, just notice your breath. Good. Now arms come up in front of you, elbows bent. Your palms can start together, and if you can get your elbows together, great. Of course, if they don't touch, that's totally fine, but see how close you can get them. As you inhale, open up your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together. As you exhale, bring your arms back together in front, maybe elbows touch. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. Yeah, keep going at your own pace. If you forget where you're supposed to breathe, just make it up. It doesn't really matter. Just put part of the breath with the move. This one's your last one. When you bring your arms back together, hands go down to the lap with your palms down. Scoot forward to toward the front of your chair a little bit. As you inhale, reach your chest forward, turn your gaze up. As you exhale, round your spine behind you. Cat and cow, seated cat and cow. I'll show you from the side. Inhale as you reach your chest forward, turn your gaze up. Exhale as you rock back, rounding your spine behind you, tuck your chin. Okay, again, go at your own pace. You inhale forward. You exhale back for seated cat and cow. Now, if you're doing any of these moves, again, if you start to notice any kind of pain, you just stop doing the move. Or maybe you make the move a little bit smaller, or you modify it in a way where it's not causing pain. And maybe you feel some muscle discomfort, you know, that's like your muscles working if they haven't worked, or they're working in a different way that they're not used to. But that discomfort is different from pain. So if you're experiencing pain, it might be hot or sharp. So just watch out for that. Back off from the movement if you feel any kind of pain. Continue moving with your breath. This is your last one. One more forward and back. And then make your way to a neutral spine, sitting tall. Then from here, have a really nice stable base with your feet. So you might even move your feet a little bit wider apart. Seated torso circles. So start to circle yourself forward and back. Nice circles. These can be big circles, they can be small circles. It's totally up to you. How I like to breathe is inhale forward and exhale back. But if there is another way that works better for you or feels more natural, just go ahead and do it, that's fine. Or you can do inhale as you circle forward, exhale as you circle back. Go ahead and switch directions, go the other way. Again, you inhale forward, exhale back, or whatever works best for you. Big circles or small circles. One more circle. And make your way back to neutral. Just take a moment to breathe and notice how you feel. Notice how your spine, your back feels. Are you hot or cold? Do you have any tingles moving through your body? Good. Open your eyes if they're closed. Now stay forward on your chair and bring your feet out wide, maybe a little bit wider than they were for those torso circles. Okay, toes point out slightly. As you inhale, reach your arms up, really reach, reach, reach. As you exhale, reach your arms down toward the floor like you're grabbing a beach ball close to the floor. Then as you inhale, you slowly draw the beach ball up your center. Inhale, inhale, inhale all the way to the top. Exhale your arms down, out, and around. Inhale as you draw it up your center. And exhale as you go around. Now continue at your own pace. Oh, you can add this too. As you inhale and draw the ball up, maybe you lift your heels off the floor, going up on the balls of your feet, and then exhale. Doesn't mean that you necessarily take your seat off of the seat. You just lift your heels up off of the floor. Exhale. Now continue, but you know, if you go at a different pace, if you have to take a couple extra breaths, of course, that's totally fine. You do what works best for you. Very good. Do one more. Do one more. You inhales, you draw your beach ball up. Exhales, your hands go down to your lap, your heels go down if they're lifted. And you can heel toe your feet back together. Very good. Now turn to the right. Turn to the right on your chair. And keep your right foot where it is, but start to walk your left foot back. Okay, walk your left foot back. And it might go back, so it's this far, maybe your knee is bent, maybe you straighten your leg all the way. And my leg right now is at, almost a 45-degree angle. It's not straight behind me. It's more comfortable to be out to the side a little bit, and that's perfect. You're coming to a warrior one. Now from here, palms together. You can have a hand on the back of the chair if that feels more stable. Maybe arm up with a hand on the chair, or both arms up, warrior one. But you have the chair underneath you to support you. Take just one breath here, one inhale, and an exhale. And then arms come down in front, elbows bent. As you inhale, you open up your arms. Maybe you turn your gaze up. Exhales, you bring your arms back together. Remember this from before. You inhales, you open up. You exhale as you bring it together. Continue at your own pace. But we'll only do 2 more together. You're inhaling as you open. You exhale as you close. Listening for any pain. Last one. Very good. Bring your hands down. Slowly make your way back to neutral. Take your time. Stop in the center and just notice. Do you notice any difference between the right side and the left side? Good. Now turn toward the left. Keep your left foot in front, your knee bent, and then start to walk your right foot back. So again, you might stop with your toes tucked under and your knee bent, or you might start to straighten the back leg. And my heel is down, but your heel doesn't have to be down on the floor. It might be a little lifted. And my leg is out at almost a 45-degree angle. It's not straight behind me. It's out to the side a little bit. So, you just make that back leg work however it works for you. Just listen to your knee. Make sure there's no pain back there. Bend your knee if you need to. Palms together, or arm on the back of the chair. Maybe one arm lifted, maybe both arms lifted. Warrior one. Take one inhale here, and an exhale here. And then arms come down in front, elbows bent. Inhales, you open up your arms. Maybe you start to turn your gaze up, open up your chest. Exhale, your arms go back together. Maybe your elbows touch. Inhales, you open up. Exhales, you close it off. Of course, now you can go at your own pace. I'll just do 2 more together. Maybe you do more or less. Just listen for pain. This is the last one. One more inhale and one more exhale. And then your hands come back down. Slowly heel toe your feet together. If you need to modify those cactus arms at all in that warrior one, of course, you just modify it if you need to hold on to the back of the chair or anything. And notice any differences between your right and left side, or maybe they feel the exact same. Okay, walk your feet out. Get a nice wide, stable base again. Inhale your arms out to a T. Exhale as you start to fold forward. Now you might stop with your elbows on your thighs, your hands together, and this might be your pose here. Or you can continue going down, maybe put your hands on a big book or a yoga block or a can of soup or something. Or maybe your hands go all the way down to the floor. Those props will help lift the floor to you if you aren't all the way down to the floor. And pause here. Steady breath. And slowly make your way up. You can use your legs to help you walk up. Heel toe your feet together. Now you can stay how you are. I'm going to turn my chair to the side so you can see this next pose. Okay, sitting in your chair again, sitting toward the front of your chair. Hands go back behind you and just start out by grabbing onto the back of the chair. Maybe you could grab onto the seat, or if you have some posts here to hold on to, you hold on to that. And then as you inhale, start to reach your chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then maybe you start to turn your gaze up toward the ceiling. So you're in a back bend here. You can always walk your hands up the chair if you want a little bit of a deeper back bend. Maybe you hook your arms around the back of the chair, interlace your fingers, and do a back bend that way. It's pretty fun to do yoga with a chair. You have a lot of options. Hold here and breathe. As you exhale, make your way back to neutral. Okay, sit comfortably. Sit comfortably. Inhale as you sit up tall. Exhale as you twist toward the right. Reach your left hand across, your right hand behind you on the seat or maybe on the back of the chair, and you twist. You can even turn your head to look over your back shoulder if you would like. Inhale as you sit up nice and tall. Exhale as you twist a little bit deeper. Steady breath as you hold these poses. Exhale as you untwist. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale as you reach your right hand across, left hand behind you, either on the seat or maybe around the back of the chair. You can even turn your head to look over your back shoulder. Steady breath. And exhale as you untwist. Good. Start to straighten both legs out in front of you. I need to scoot toward the front edge of your mat now, on my chair. Be really mindful here, because if you're really far and you go into this forward fold like we're going to do, you don't want your chair to tip forward, of course. So make sure your chair feels really stable. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can do this pose. Both legs out in front. And you start to fold forward, and your hands just go wherever they easily reach. Or you can have your knees bent, grab underneath one thigh, and straighten your leg out in front. You can even take like a scarf or something and hook the bottom of your foot with the scarf and hold it out like so. Now, whatever version you're going to do, just go ahead and get there, whether you're doing both legs at the same time with your heels down on the floor or one leg at a time. I'll tell you when to switch. If you have one leg up, really reach through your heel. Really reach through your heel. Keep breathing. Switch legs if you have one leg lifted at a time. If you have both legs out in front of you, just stay where you are. Holding on under your thigh or hooking the bottom of your foot with a towel or a scarf or something. Steady breath. Reach through your heel. Good. As you exhale, slowly let it down. Very good. Scoot back on your chair if you want to take a moment and hug a knee in one at a time. Just make your way to a comfortable seat for our final few breaths. So sit tall, but you can relax against the back of your chair. Let your eyes close. Your hands are just comfortable in your lap. So it is very important at the end of a practice to take a moment to breathe. So what I want you to do for the next minute here is simply follow your inhales and your exhales. And what might happen is that your mind wanders off to a thought, an idea, or an emotion takes over. And that's okay, that's normal. The practice is just all about bringing your attention back to your breath if it ever wanders. That might happen 10 times in the next minute. It might happen 1,000,000 times. Doesn't matter how often your mind wanders, just always bring it back to the breath. I encourage you to stay here a little longer, so maybe you set a timer for 5 more minutes, stop this video and sit until your timer goes off. Or if you are ready to finish your practice, bring your palms together in front of your chest. Think of at least one thing you're thankful for today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today, maybe trying something new, but if nothing else, thank you for taking some time for your self-care. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.